Andy, welcome to my channel, The Shropshire Angler. First off, I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who subscribed to the channel. It's not massive figures, I can't say I'm like a huge YouTube influencer, but I've been really humbled by how many people have subscribed this month. So thank you to that, thank you for watching. I just thought I'd do a quick review of some more little Temu finds I bought a couple of weeks ago, and they've come this week. First one is bait bands. Now, I don't know if you've seen my other video about my Temu finds when I was buying swivels and connectors in larger quantities on the cheap that were just as good as the ones you buy in packs of 10. Well, I've been doing a lot of hook links and that this week, so I've been getting quite a few of my stock of bait bands. I've got some Maver ones there I brought a while ago. There's not many left in there really. Out of the 100 or the 50 that was in there, 100, there's probably only about 25-30 left in there. So we've been running through those. So yeah, you find yourself buying those for a couple of quid, or the Preston ones or somebody else's brands, but I know the Preston ones you only get like 20, I think it is, in a pack for a couple of quid. So it can be quite pricey as time goes on if you get through a lot of them. But I found these silicone bait bands, or particle elastic as they call it, on Temu. Obviously they've come from China, but there's I think there's 1,000 in there, and they're 3 by 5mm. They look, to be fair, for all intents and purposes, just exactly the same, I'll get that to focus, as the ones you normally buy. Even came with a tool, which I won't really need because I've got a better one, but there is a tool with that. They seem a little bit stiffer than the ones we normally use. It's a bit thicker, but they still, I think once you've expanded them once, that's locked, expanded them once or twice, they're just the same as a normal really. They're probably, if anything, they're probably a little bit thicker. But you see there's 1,000 in there, and I think it was a couple of £. So I didn't think that was too bad at all. You have to excuse me, I'm sweating here. I've just been doing some work in the garage. It's quite muggy today. So yeah, so that was the first find. So that was literally, I think it was a couple of £, or sometimes if you put them in your basket and hang them in there for a while, then they tend to give you an extra bit of discount to entice you in. So yeah, that was a good buy, I'm happy with that. Second one probably won't be for everybody, but I found this little book of knots. I say book, it's like little flashcards, plastic flashcards, so they're waterproof. And there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on there. They're double-sided, held together with by like a rivet. Camera's having trouble focusing on that, but yeah, I was quite impressed with these. There's some knots I use all the while that I know off the bottom, but there is occasions when palm island knot is normally the one. I know it's a carp knot, but it's quite a strong knot, that one. I sometimes have to stop and think, now how did I tie that last time? So this is more, as I'm getting older, I'm getting more forgetful, an aide de memoire, and they're double-sided, so there's 1, 2, there's 10 different knots on there, ranging from one's for swivels, one's for hook, one for joining lines, which I use when I'm doing my lure fishing in the winter, when I attach my fluorocarbon to the braided line. That's always a knot I forget because I don't do it very often. So yeah, I thought that was a handy little thing. I think again that was like £1.50, £1.75, something like that. The trouble is, I could show you one product and tell you a price, and then it seems to be, because it's happened between me and my wife, if somebody else looks at the same product, they seem to offer different prices to different customers. I don't know why, but they must have some sort of logic to it. So that was another one. And the third and final one might not be useful to everybody, but this will come in for my lure fishing as well, but also where any of my rods that I put in a bag, it's these rod clamps. For clamping, you set 2 sections together, predominantly your tips, to protect your tips. It's made of plastic. It's lined with EVA foam, so that'll cushion around the tip of your rod and the tip of your butt section, and then it locks in place with that. And once you've locked it in place, you can't open it, so you have to release that to open it, pop your two rod tips in, and lock. So I thought that was another little good bit of kit. Protect it. And again, I think these were less than £1 each. I've got 4 of them, but they were less than £1 each. And also another thing that I had from Temu that I thought was really good for a couple of quid, it'd probably be no interest. It's not really an angling thing, it's more for if you're YouTubing or documenting your fishing. As I bought this little GoPro bracket, which will fit your GoPro, or most of these action cameras now have these connections on the bottom. You put the connector of your action camera or your GoPro into there. These have got like a rubber strap that then locks on. Now I thought that would be excellent for putting around the leg of my seat box, maybe to achieve a different angle next time I'm filming. But yeah, that was 2 or 3 quid. But as I say, that was a good buy as well, but that might not interest the pure anglers, but that might interest the YouTubing enthusiasts who go fishing, or anything else really. But yeah, that was another good product I had from Temu. But anyway, you shouldn't disregard Temu, or what's the other one called? There's Temu Wish, I'd say leave that well alone. There's another one I can't think of. I'll put it on the screen if I remember what it's called. But you shouldn't discount them. There are some good bits of tackling there. A friend of mine who's a carp angler, he bought some drop-off bite indicators from there, and he's done nothing but rave about them because they were £4 or £5, where you're probably looking 20 quid upwards for a very similar product in this country. And as we all know, a lot of stuff is made in China and then supplied out to all the other big brands, so quite often you can get hold of a very similar product to a very similar spec, nice and cheap. So that was my Temu finds. I hope you found that interesting. If not, disregard it. Also this week I've been out and about at the tackle shops like I always am, spending my money when I shouldn't be really. I didn't realise that the bait safe tubs that you can buy to go with the additional, you buy the Preston Innovations bait safe that I did a video a long while ago with the 4 big tubs in, and you can buy other tubs to go with it, different sizes. I have got some ones that are about that big that I use for pellets and that sort of thing, but I didn't realise they'd one this small. Now this would be good for paste and stuff like that, take to the bank, because these are watertight and airtight. Same design as the big ones that go in the bait safe itself, with the same seal, with the same turn and lock mechanism that once it's locked won't come out. But yeah, that's quite a handy little size really for any prepped, I don't know, maybe you dyed any luncheon meat, or you flavoured some sweet corn, or that's the point, sweet corn. A lot of venues now don't like you to take your tins of sweet corn with you and open them on the bank. I have, but I always make sure I shove it in my bag or shove it in my car. But that's another one where you could fill it and keep it tight. I wouldn't be surprised the strength of these if they couldn't go in the freezer, but don't take that as yes they can go in the freezer, because I don't know, but they seem a very strong tub. But anyway, so yeah, that tub was a nice little find this week. But I also had to stock up some more on my favourites at the moment, which are these Sonobaits Pro Expander pellets that you don't really need a pump for. You just soak them overnight in water. But what I like about these particular ones is they do an 8mm, which not many people do, which is good. I tend to buy every year, or a couple of times a year, a bag of 4s, a bag of 6 and a bag of 8mm, and they last quite a lot, because you only need a small amount. I just normally make up a tub with like a small amount of each one, soaked overnight, ready for the next day, and I like to flavour them the same way as I do now. I think I've mentioned it before, I buy my feed pellets in bulk, because it gets quite expensive if you're just buying the the flavoured ones, and quite often you're not allowed to use them now at the venues for feed, only on the hook. So if you're having to buy the fishery feed pellets, or as I say, I buy the similar sort of pellets in bulk, I just like to flavour those and use those. But what I've decided now with my pro expanders, I'm probably going to stop buying pre-made pro expanders to a certain degree, because I had to throw a load of jars away the other day, purely because they have got a shelf life on them, and I thought it would just be a load of rubbish. But I have had some that started to break up when I hooked them, and that because I'd had them for 2 or 3 years, and I worked out how much I'd spent, and it just all went in the bin in the end. So yeah, I think nowadays, expander wise, I'm just going to make a flavour selection of my own to take, just to use on the day. But I've heard people say you can refrigerate these after you've made them, or even freeze them and keep them, but that's the way I'm going now. So I have to buy some more of them, but they're like $4.99 a bag, but that'll last me quite a while. If you literally talk them, you'll just grab a pinch of about that much, because you're only going to use them on the hook, you're not going to throw them in as a feed. And as I say, you can't go wrong with these, and they're good spongy if you leave them overnight, or even just a half an hour or a couple of hours. So yeah, those as well. So just a quick video this week. That's everything for this week. I still haven't managed to get out on the bank at the moment, but hopefully next week. We'll do some more recording and test up some of these baits and pastes I've been buying recently, and we'll see what happens with that. So thanks again for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, it means a lot to me, and I'll see you again soon.